I got to ask you a question.
What's up?
Is congratulations in order?
It is in order. Congratulations is in order. Oh my God. Can I tell you how happy I am that like the cat's out of the bag? I don't like holding on to secrets. Um, I not that it's even just like a secret, but it's like, you do got to keep, shit under wraps for a second. So it's nice to just like have it out there. It's real. There's that other part of it too. And I think that kind of comes from like the years of like doing jobs and like having the heartache of like, oh, it's not going to happen, or I didn't book this job, or the audition went bad or whatever. I know that's obviously not the case with this, but it feels like if you say something out loud, you're going to like curse it or something, or like loose lips sink ships or something. I don't know.
Totally. I'm the same way. It's like, nope, don't say it. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels very weird. So, I had a pretty tight circle of people that I had told. Anyways, yeah, it's out there and I'm like so excited. I'm so excited to be back in the world of professional wrestling. And not that it feels like it does feel like I left in the sense of like being at the shows, working at the shows, being around the ring, shooting the shit with everybody, seeing what the creative looks like, all that stuff. Like I love that aspect. And in the last 2.5 years with us doing this show, and of course, guys, this show still goes on just as usual. This, me joining AEW does not affect the sessions at all. I mean, other than getting like more great guests, but which actually, even to give a little nod about that is like AEW has always been so great to us for booking guests as is. So it's already been an easy process. But I just, it feels so cool to just be back in this world. Like, yeah, we've been able to be here and doing these interviews and you're still hanging out with people. It's through Zoom and you're having different conversations than you would have backstage. We're not talking too much wrestling. But now to be like back in it, like, God, I do miss it. I have missed it. For me too, like, obviously, shit, we watch so much wrestling in this house. We talk so much wrestling in this house. And it was always sort of like an odd, displaced sort of feeling anytime I went to shows with John, because I'm always used to like being at the shows, but working and being useful and contributing. So being there for the duration of John being at AEW and not doing that and just like being there, being like John's wife, and I'm just like hanging out and I'll pop through catering and grab a bite. And yeah, it's just a different feeling kind of going there as a guest as opposed to now being like, oh my God, yay, cool, I go here now.
Right. So, all right, let's do this because I want to back up a little bit. Let's back up.
Back it up.
Folks.
Beep.
First off, folks, if you guys did not know when we were talking about when Renee was in a technical closet and what she was doing there.
The kayfabery.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty damn good job, to be honest.
I agree.
I think we did a good job. But let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to the 2 years prior. So you leave WWE, right? And we don't have to cover that ground. That ground's already been covered. You said your piece. Creatively burnt out, wanted to do a little bit more, decided to step out, venture.
I just felt like I had done everything there that I could possibly do. And, I think even too, like looking back at my time in WWE, and I just would like to like reiterate as well, because I feel like it can get very muddy in these conversations because people become very territorial about WWE versus AEW and all that. I want nothing to do with any of that. I love so many people at both companies. WWE was so great to me for years. Of course, yeah, shit, I could have my gripes about things, but who couldn't about any job?
Of course.
They gave me such a great platform, and I really did have a great time there. And obviously this opportunity now with AEW would not be afforded to me had I not had the reputation and career that I was able to have in WWE.
Right. So you leave and you go off on your own, right? And this is the journey that you've been on. And
here she goes, forging her own path. Miss Americana coming in hot.
But let's be honest, though. You really have. Like, in the short amount of time that you decided to bet on yourself, because it's very, very easy to stay at a company that will pay you the bag.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
but you decided to go, no, 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 no.
Very scary when that money stops coming in too. Let me just put that out there.
Oh, I
That's a
remember.
little bit of a gulp.
I remember my
Like,
first.
oh my God, I left this job. Oh wait, they're gonna stop paying me when I leave. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, trust me, my asshole got real tight that first time that those WWE checks stopped coming in, babe. I was like,
Oh my God.
was like,
I know.
oh, I can't buy shoes for a couple of months.
I know. Pump the brakes for a second.
I know, but you've done what you've done. This podcast has been number one in several different spaces several times. You've interviewed so far the biggest, the best, and the brightest, a lot of up-and-comers as well, but also you have maneuvered the show into the annals of pop culture now, where you interviewed other people as well. So you showed that you have a extremely versatile reach where you do everything, so much so that now you're working with the Cincinnati Bengals.
You saw that one coming, right?
Oh, I did. I mean, you could just listen. You could just tell when. And the one thing I like about you, and this is not a kiss Renee's ass episode, even though we could.
You know what? Let's make it.
You want to kiss?
Can we?
Let's do it.
Just kidding.
So,
obviously.
pucker up, buttercups. Renee wants
My
her love on
lip
social
chap is
media.
on. Let's go. Let's smooch it out.
But in all honesty, the stuff that you've been able to do, you really did fortify that I can hang outside of doing whatever it is that I was doing with WWE, right? And it just goes into the fact that, you know what, they need somebody like you. They need your professionalism. They need your candor. They need your wit. They need your charisma. You know, now you'll get into it, but like, I don't know what you're doing there. Is it an on-camera role? Is it a producer's role? Is it a mixture of both? Like, do you know what you're doing there, or did you just sign to do some like on-camera segments to go off from that? And what was your decision to go back and do it, besides you and John watching copious amounts of professional wrestling and you missing professional wrestling? What was the thing to bring you back into professional wrestling, because you did carve your own path and now you do have your own lane? So
Sure, yeah. So, you know, I think for me is like, you know, it's a really funny moment right now where I feel like over the past 2.5 years, I planted a lot of seeds. And while you're planting those seeds, you're watering them. Are they growing? Is the thing doing what I want it to be doing? Oh God, did I overwater something? Shit, this thing's dried out, blah, 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 all those different things. That now I really feel like I'm at a point where they're sprouting. Some things are really coming out of the ground. And I think that's a reminder to myself, to anybody listening to this, that like, you know, when I left WWE, it wasn't that instant, like, cool, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I didn't really have any like announcements. I wasn't, you know, I was doing my own thing and kind of grinding away, but it's not like I was like, I'm joining Good Morning America or like something like that, you know, like I was home. I just had a baby. That was like a whole ordeal. Obviously, like, you know, you're having a kid, you're pregnant for 9 months, you figure out being a mom for the first time while also carving your own path and trying to figure all that stuff out. So there's definitely like those ups and those downs, and it's not that instant gratification. And I would be remiss to not say that there weren't times that I didn't think like, oh my God, I feel like I am batting my head against the wall. I am barking up the wrong trees. Should I just be like calling it for now and like just hang at home with my kid? And like, no shade to that at all. Like, that's a beautiful option. And honestly, when I was looking at those options for me, I was like, I love spending time with my kid. How lucky would I be to be a mom that can spend that much time with her daughter? And I, you know, I still do get to spend a lot of time with my daughter. So it's not like, you know, of course I have these jobs that will take me away a little bit more as we figure out, you know, traveling with a kid and all those things that we have not figured out yet. We'll put a pin in that one for the time being. We're going to sort that out as we go. But yeah, I think it's those ups and those downs, and now being able to see like, okay, cool. This, you know, to have the podcast be doing what it's doing, working with really great people at The Volume, working with Colin, to the fact that he wanted to bring us on so early on to us starting this podcast, like that to me was like certainly a pat on the back, testament to what we're doing.
8 episods in.
Yeah. Oh my God. To see like Colin Cowards in my DMs being like, cool show. I was like, excuse me, sir? What? Great. So to like have that, and now to like have like this opportunity with the Bengals, like that was something like coming from the world of wrestling and being known for just doing wrestling. It's really hard to break out of that mold. And it's not a mold that I wanted to just like shake off and be like, I don't do wrestling, I don't talk wrestling. That was not what I was ever trying to do. But as you are trying to get into other spotlights and into other lanes, it can be a little bit difficult to sort of break out of that corner that you've been kind of painted in. So to have this opportunity at the Bengals and to have like my own series with them, get my foot in the door, talk to some other athletes. And, you know, of course, football players are different than professional wrestlers, but an athlete is an athlete is an athlete. Everyone's working hard. Everyone has different circumstances and all of those things. So for me to be able to like start a series with them, Renee all day, baby. So to have that happen, and now this opportunity with AEW. And yeah, I mean, I guess going back to your question, which has now taken me approximately 35 minutes to get to answer, is that, you know, it's missing being around professional wrestling. It's missing that TV aspect of doing things. I love that I get to work from home. I love that I can pop upstairs, turn on the microphone, turn on the camera, do the podcast. You know, I was doing hits for the NHL Network, all from right here as well. Like, I lived a really great life of being able to work from home while we were all stuck in COVID, and that's just how everyone was existing. To being like, yeah, you know, I miss that. I miss the crowds. I miss the lights. I miss the like outfits and the like the aspect of like putting on like an actual show. I'm ready to get out of my sweatpants is what I'm saying, you know?
Listen, I think there's a big difference in doing what we do, and then when it is on,
Yes.
you gotta. There is a different
Yes.
type of thrill, and is a different type of excitement, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you know, I was privy for a little while to be during like the whole pop and circumstance of a live production like that, and you know, I understand what it's like when you're there. It's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of moving parts. You're a part of that fixture, and you're a part of that ever spinning cog. And I think it's cool. I'm very excited to see what it is that you will do.